Conor McGregor coming back to the UFC has really done a lot to energize the UFC. Dana White, he was talking to him like, they needed to get a room, after the press conference. It was a little disturbing to me. Tell me, in your opinion, because obviously this is a very tough matchup, what if Conor McGregor loses? What does that do to his reputation, the UFC, Dana White, or it doesn't matter because, like you said, he's out here, promoting and being Conor McGregor. Is he big enough that he could take a loss and honestly, it won't be a loss?
100%. It's already happened. He lost to Nate Diaz. He came back and he was bigger than ever. He fought Floyd Mayweather after he lost to Nate Diaz. He came back and he fought Nate Diaz again. And it was his biggest fight ever in the UFC so far. So Conor McGregor is one of these guys who, he's someone who, if you look at Floyd Mayweather, and he's built his whole career up on winning and winning and winning. And, Floyd Mayweather said there's only two things God ever made perfect, himself and Floyd Mayweather's boxing record. And Conor McGregor's not one of those guys. He is a guy that can take losses. What he is brilliant at is taking losses. He takes these setbacks and he comes back from them so well, time after time after time again. The time, with Nate Diaz, after that, people grew more respect for Conor McGregor than they had after any of his wins. And that says what you have to say about Conor McGregor. And now he's at the position as well that if he loses, the Nate Diaz trilogy fight is still there. The George St. Pierre fight is still there. 165-pound division is possibly still there. 170 pounds division is still there. He has already won the 155-pound belt. So that division is kind of at a place where he just wants to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. And then he's probably going to move past it anyway. So if he loses, and he's going to be moved past it as well. So it's a loss here is obviously huge from McGregor. He doesn't want Khabib Nurmagomedov because this is a real grudge match. But a loss for him and his career, if he wants to fight again, if he chooses to keep fighting, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I think he's going to be still a huge draw, and he's going to build up his next fight into a huge fight again.
Sean, styles make fights, and we certainly do know that Conor McGregor is going to try and keep it a stand-up fight, as we saw even in Nate Diaz too. What Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to try and do, and is certainly his best suit in winning this, is getting it to the ground. We have seen him do this against Rafael dos Anjos along with many other UFC foes. Can he take Conor McGregor down? Well, the answer is yes. More so, my question being, when he takes him down, can Conor McGregor develop, and has he enough of a defensive wrestling game when he is on the mat to survive an onslaught that he, in my opinion, has not seen yet from anybody from the likes of Khabib Nurmagomedov? Basically, lastly, when he lost to Nate Diaz in the first fight, he was gassed. At that point, he was, he was hurling himself at Nate Diaz's feet, and in my opinion, knew that it wasn't in the cards. So it wasn't even that much of a ground and pound fight when he got to the mat. So he'll never see something like Khabib has, correct?
Well, he's fought Chad Mendes. He's fought a few wrestlers. He's fought Eddie Alvarez as well. He's never lost to a wrestler. Every time he's been beaten, he's been submitted. And the first two losses of his career were early in his career, in his first 5 or 6 fights. And the last one, as you mentioned there, was to Nate Diaz when he kind of gassed out, went to take Nate Diaz down himself, and then got choked out. He fought, as I mentioned, Chad Mendes. He took him down, but McGregor got back up, knocked him out. Eddie Alvarez didn't let him take him down at any stage. The key here for Conor McGregor is not to get taken down. If he gets taken down, he will get beaten up badly. Now, you can be defensive all you like, but against Khabib Nurmagomedov, it's a different beast. This guy is the best fighter in the world on the ground. He is an absolute monster. He will beat you down for as long as it takes. And if it goes 5 rounds, he will go 5 rounds and beat you down. The key in this fight is keeping it standing. Conor McGregor needs to dominate range. He needs to dominate the distance of the fight. He needs to stay away from Khabib Nurmagomedov. He needs to push him back. He needs to force Khabib to be desperate to come out off the cage. He needs to counter him when he does that, and then he needs to knock him out or hurt him very badly and finish him off. If it gets to the ground, it's too late for McGregor. If it stays up for a prolonged period of time, it's very, very, very bad news for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Lastly, Sean, who do you got?
I think McGregor wins it. McGregor has built his whole career around his ability to keep distance. As I mentioned there, that's the key to this fight. If McGregor can push Khabib back, he'll win. If Khabib can push McGregor back, he'll win. Khabib hasn't fought the level of fighters Conor McGregor has. He hasn't dismantled the level of fighters Conor McGregor has in the way Conor McGregor does it. I don't think Khabib Nurmagomedov will be able to push Conor McGregor back. And if he can't, it'll be an early night. I think McGregor wins inside the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Alrighty, Sean Sheehan joining us here on TYT Sports. We appreciate the time as always, brother. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Do you guys want full TYT episodes?
Yeah!
So download YouTube TV and get a 7-day free week trial.